dear friends and colleagues. It is such a joy and privilege to have you tune in into this space today, where minds are sharpened and spirits are lifted and hearts are beautifully encouraged. And today, we come not only to reflect on success as the world defines it, but to explore a deeper truth that the Holy Bible reveals. And our theme today is humility in success, a constant reminder that achievements, while worthy of celebration, find their true meaning only when carried with immense grace, gratitude, and humility. And as we journey through scriptures and modern illustrations, may we discover that humility is not the enemy of success, but its greatest companion, turning victories into legacies and recognition into lasting impact. I have to tell you, in every generation, success has been admired, pursued, and celebrated. In our modern corporate age, success is often defined by promotions, profits, and the prestige that we earn for ourselves. We live in a world where achievements are broadcasted big time on social media, where awards are big time displayed on office walls, and where recognition is sought as the only proof of worth. Yet, amidst this celebration of success, there lies a question that is often overlooked. How do we carry our success? How do we carry our success? Do we wear it on our shoulder as a crown of pride, or do we hold it as a gift with humility? The Holy Bible speaks profoundly into this space, and it reminds us that success is not wrong. It is certainly not wrong, but pride is dangerous. And the book of Proverbs, chapter 16, verse 18, warns us, and this is what it reads: pride goes before destruction. Pride goes before destruction. A haughty spirit before a fall. This ancient wisdom is as relevant today as it was thousands of years ago. In boardrooms and businesses, in leadership and life, pride has toppled empires and destroyed reputations. Humility, on the other hand, has built trust, sustained growth, and created legacies that endure for a lifetime. And so as we gather together today, we are not here to diminish success, but to redefine success. We are here to explore how humility transforms success from a fleeting achievement into a lasting impact. We are here today to see how biblical principles, though ancient, speak directly into the challenges of modern corporate life. And we are here today to be yet again reminded that true greatness is not found in self-exaltation, but in service and service alone. Not in arrogance, but in humility. This talk today is not just for leaders at the top, but for every professional, every team member, and every listener listening in today. I have to tell you, if you are an individual who is striving for excellence, let me tell you, humility is not weakness. It is strength under control. It is the posture that allows us to celebrate achievements without any arrogance, to acknowledge contributions without envy, and to lead with grace rather than pride. And so before we step into the heart of today's talk, let us prepare our minds and hearts to see success through the lens of scriptures in the Holy Bible. Let us be ready to discover that humility is not the enemy of success, but its greatest companion. For when humility walks alongside success, the applause of today becomes the legacy of tomorrow. In the fast-paced corridors of modern corporates and corporations, success is often celebrated with applause, awards, and immense headlines. It is the dream of every professional to rise, to achieve, and to be recognized. Yet, success carries with it a very subtle danger, the temptation to believe that we alone are the architects of our own achievement and success. And the Holy Bible reminds us that while success is a blessing, pride can be a trap. True greatness is found not in boasting, but in humility. And humility is the only virtue that sustains success long after all the applause of the world fades. And scriptures speak much clarity. It tells us and it instructs us with much pellucidity. And the book of Proverbs chapter 18 verse 12 boldly declares, "Before a downfall the heart is haughty, but humility comes before honor." My dear friends, this verse captures a paradox that the corporate world often overlooks. I have to tell you, honor is not the fruit of pride, but of humility. When leaders embrace humility, they create cultures of trust, collaboration, and immense resilience. When they succumb to arrogance, they isolate themselves to set the stage only for decline. And the Holy Bible does not condemn success. Rather, it teaches us how to carry success with honor, humility, and with grace. Would you consider the example of Jesus Christ, our sovereign Lord, who, though he had authority, sovereign authority over heaven and earth, chose to serve? And in the book of John, chapter 13, he washed the feet of his disciples as an act that shocked them because it was reserved for servants only. Yet, in that moment, he redefined leadership. He showed that the highest form of success is not domination, but service and service alone. For corporate leaders, this lesson, I have to tell you, is priceless and timeless. Success is not diminished by humility. It is intensified. It is magnified. A leader who serves inspires loyalty, creativity, and excellence far beyond what pride could ever achieve. Did you know that the modern corporate landscape offers illustrations of this truth immensely? Leaders who remain humble in success often build organizations that endure. Let me cite to you an example of Satya Nadella's emphasis on empathy at Microsoft transformed not only the company's culture but also its global reputation. His humility in listening and learning became a source of innovation. On the other hand, history is filled with stories and cautionary tales of companies that collapsed because leaders believed that they were untouchable. Pride, my friends, pride blinded them to risks and ultimately led them to failure. But the Holy Bible warns us in the book of Proverbs chapter 16 verse 18, and it reads, "Pride goes before destruction." Pride goes before destruction. My dear friends, this is not an ancient rhetoric. It is a principle that plays out in all our boardrooms and business houses even today. Humility in success is certainly not weakness. It is strength under control. Let me repeat this. Humility in success is certainly not weakness. It is strength under control. It is the ability to acknowledge achievements without arrogance, to celebrate victories without diminishing others, and to lead with a servant's heart. The book of James, chapter 4, verse 6, constantly reminds us, God opposes the proud but shows favor only to the humble. In the corporate context, humility opens doors to favor with employees, with clients, and with stakeholders. It creates an environment where people feel valued, where ideas flourish, and where success is shared rather than hoarded. Let us reflect on how humility can be practiced in our daily corporate life. When our project succeeds, humility acknowledges the contribution of the entire team rather than claiming credit alone. When challenges arise, humility admits limitations and seeks wisdom from others rather than pretending to have all the answers to yourselves. When promotions come, humility remembers and reminds us that leadership is certainly not a privilege to be exploited, but our responsibility to serve and to serve alone. My dear friends, this posture not only honors God, but also strengthens the organization that we represent and that we work for. It builds cultures where people are motivated not by fear, but by respect and honor, not by competition, but by collaboration. And the Holy Bible offers hope and assurance, as well as immense instruction. And as recorded in the book of Jeremiah, chapter 9, verses 23 and 24 reads, "Let not the wise boast of their wisdom, or the strong boast of their strength, or the rich boast of their riches. But let the one who boasts boast about this, that they have the understanding of me." My dear friends, success is fleeting if it is rooted in pride. Success is fleeting if it is rooted in pride, but it becomes eternal when it is rooted in humility and the knowledge of God. For the corporate world, this means that humility is not just a moral virtue, it is a strategic advantage. It sustains success, protects against downfalls, and ensures that achievements are meaningful. And so, as we navigate the complexities of the modern business and the corporate epoch that we survive, let us remember that humility in success is the hidden strength of leadership. Humility in success is the hidden strength of leadership. It is the virtue that transforms applause into legacy, recognition into respect, and achievement into long-lasting, conspicuous impact. And the Holy Bible calls us not to deny success, but to carry it with humility. For only in humility we find not only honor, but also life. And in the book of Proverbs, chapter 22, verse 4, it reads, "Humility is the fear of the Lord. Its wages are riches and honor and life." May we as leaders and professionals embrace humility in our success so that our achievements are not only celebrated today, but remembered with gratitude even tomorrow and days to come. And at the end, I have to say, success is not defined merely by the titles we hold, the profits that we generate, or the applause that we receive. True success is only measured by the character that we display. When we reach out to others, when we are able to touch lives, we are truly successful. And the Bible reminds us that pride is extremely fleeting, but humility endures. And as mentioned in the book of Proverbs, chapter 22, verse 4, and I'm going to read this verse yet again. Humility is the fear of the Lord. Its wages are riches and honor and life. My dear friends, this verse captures the very essence and significance of what every corporate leader and professional must embrace. Humility is not the absence of achievement, but the posture that sustains. It is the quiet strength that acknowledges the contribution of others, the wisdom that listens before speaking, and the grace that serves even when celebrated. Listeners listening in today, let me tell you, in a world that often equates success with self-promotion, humility becomes a radical yet powerful choice. It transforms workplaces into communities of trust, leaders into servant leaders, and victories into legacies. And so, the crisp takeaway from our talk today is this: success without humility is fragile, but success with humility is unshakable. Let me repeat this yet again. Success without humility is fragile, but success with humility is unshakable. Therefore, let us carry our achievements not as crowns to boast, but as opportunities to serve, to uplift, and to inspire. For remember, when humility accompanies success, our influence extends beyond the boardroom and into eternity for a lifetime. God bless you all.